Namaste. Welcome to our Flow and Restore yoga practice. Our first practice together on Zoom in the new year, 2025. So Happy New Year. For this practice, you'll want to have quite a few props. If you have anything like you see behind me or an alternative to that, such as two blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a bolster. Physically, we're going to focus quite a bit on spinal twists, sort of releasing and cleansing and inviting pure energy flow, and as well as hip opening. So let's start in a hip opening posture that feels gentle for you. You might want to prop your pelvis up high on something if you particularly have tightness in your hip flexors. And invite you to find a gentle way to turn open the thighs in front of you and sit some sort of sukhasana, which means easy pose. You can bring the shins really close together. That can make it more accessible. And if you tend to cross one leg in front of the other most of the time, I invite you to switch and take the non-default version so that the other hip can get a little more opening too. So, some people have their list of goals and New Year's resolutions, probably. And it can be the turn of a calendar, can be an opportune time to just realign with what we want to focus in our lives, what we want to focus and grow. And something that I love about yoga practice, every time we show up for it, we're setting an intention, which is a reminder that whether it be the full moon, a new year, your birthday, a new season, the equinox, we always have the opportunity and choice to begin again. As one of my favorite mindfulness teachers, Sharon Salzberg, reminds us, when we're meditating and our attention goes astray and we're no longer in the present moment, we're caught up in a thought. As soon as we notice that, we have the choice to begin again and again and again. And that's our practice, right? It's the tiny little things that add up that create our life. The moment by moment choices that we make that create the bigger picture that is our life. And so instead of being overwhelmed by, oh, I've got to lose 50 pounds, or I have to run a marathon, or it's lovely to have goals, but something I invite you to ask yourself throughout this practice today, again, it's an invitation, of course, it's optional, is what is the next step? Just what is the next step? From where I am, what is the next best step? And before we even ask that question, because where are we going? Where are we stepping towards? Let's tune in with ourselves and meet ourselves exactly where we are. So taking a moment to pause, you might close your eyes. And if it helps you to turn your attention inward, you might rest a hand on the center of your chest and a hand just below your belly button. And in the attitude of mindfulness in which we let go of judging, we invite curiosity to just cultivate present moment awareness. That's it. Bringing that attitude into scanning your physical body mentally from part to part to notice any sensations. Anywhere you might feel tension, anywhere you might feel warmth of temperature, or the opposite, just any kind of sensations. Being present in your body. What is your body asking of you in this physical practice today? So that perhaps as you come out of it, you might feel just a little more open, not only physically, but energetically, or a little more balanced, or a little more grounded. Now sense the way your body's breathing without controlling or changing it. You might feel how smoothly or how choppy the breath is. maybe the depth, and all the qualities in your breathing right now. What are you observing about your energy? Meeting yourself exactly where you are, which means if you're feeling really hyper or active, energetic, maybe your yoga practice is going to be a lot of, being in the fire, choosing the more rigorous option of movements and poses in the start, so that as you move along towards the yin portion, you can welcome a slowing down and a stillness. Notice your mind. How are you feeling mentally and emotionally right now? Notice your heart. Again, without judging it as good or bad, practice holding space for whatever you are feeling at this moment. Even things that might feel paradoxical, like happy and anxious. Now let's begin to slow down the breath. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Few more exhales through the mouth. Letting each breath in become slightly longer. Each breath out slightly longer. By slowing your breath down and paying attention to it, cultivate an attitude of mindfulness in how you will approach your physical body. Now, I invite you to take a moment of practicing gratitude. Think of someone today or maybe this week that has offered you some gesture of kindness, big or small. Maybe a stranger smiled at you on the trails as you were hiking. Maybe someone wished you well for the new year. And invite you to take a moment to acknowledge them with gratitude. As we practice gratitude regularly, we regularly open our hearts and our minds. And so now I invite you to clarify an intention for this practice, tuning into your heart space. Is there anything that your heart needs of you right now? It could be something specific in any aspect of your life in which you're trying to create a shift. Or it could be a general quality of energy, of feeling tone, such as harmony, compassion, peace. And then I invite you to remember that we are all affecting each other near and far, directly, indirectly, in our inevitable interconnectedness. And with that in mind, I invite you to choose somebody besides yourself that you would like to dedicate this practice to as a way of extending them loving kindness. And now together, let's join our voices in support of each other, connecting with a vibration at the center of our Mother Earth, Om, by chanting it 3 times. Let in a deep breath. And so, again, the invitation is asking your inner being, what is the next best step? What is the next best step to realign with your greater intention, like the one you've set for this practice? I invite you now into a breathing practice to bring us into the flow part of our physical postures, and it's called Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. And it's a way to bring balance of energy, calm, and focus. It's done by closing your lips and gently narrowing the back of your throat to create a very soft whispering sound that you can listen to in your breathing. Give it a try. And as you can hear your breathing, continue to inhale to the very top of the breath and exhale to the very bottom where you're balancing the length of in and out. Taking your time to smoothly transition between the breaths, basically infusing all the qualities that you want to feel when you're moving your body. Steady focus and ease. Now see if you can keep that gently audible rhythm going in your breath, and let's start to move to it. So sitting up tall as your sitting bones down, inhale, raise your arms overhead, relax the shoulders, and then exhale, take hold of your left wrist, I'm going to mirror you, and side bend to your right. Inhale, rise back to center, take hold of your right wrist, and exhale, side bend to your left. Let's try one more on each side. Lateral extension of the spine. Inhale, center, take hold of the left wrist, exhale, side bend a little further to the right, root the left sitting bone down. Inhale up to center, hold the right wrist, exhale, side bend to the left. So I mentioned we're going to be spinal twisting today, and this lateral extension is to give us some space in order to twist. Now, exhale, twist to your right by just rotating your rib cage, not your pelvis. Open the arms wide and stay here as you inhale, press the pelvis down, lift up through each vertebra of your spine, lift up to your crown, but relax the shoulders down. And then without using any leverage, continue to rotate your rib cage. So what you're doing right now is activating these muscles right here along the sides of your torso called your obliques. They're your main twisting muscles. Now let's add the leverage of lowering the right hand behind you and pressing the left hand on your lap or the back of the left hand against your outer right thigh. As you inhale, firm down into the earth and stretch the spine a little taller. And as you exhale, keep your pelvis and legs still and continue to rotate your rib cage. So these same principles are going to be used through all kinds of postures that are spinal twists. Rooting into the ground with whatever part of your body that is touching it as you stretch the spine. And then directing the twist along your waistline, stabilizing the lower back by keeping the pelvis still if you're upright. Now next inhale, raise your arms, come back through center, sit up a little taller. And then this time exhale, twist to the left and open your arms, not using any leverage. Keep the arms wide. Inhale, press down through the pelvis, stretch the spine a little longer. And then use your obliques as you exhale to deepen the twist. Even if it doesn't look like you're twisting more, bring the intention and energy there. Now let's lower the left hand behind you and press the right hand either on your lap or the back of that hand against your left thigh. Inhale, root down to rise up. Exhale, continue to twist across your waistline. Last 2 breaths. And let it go. And let's make our way down onto hands and knees, and we'll move the spine in flexion and extension in cat-cow pose. So spread your fingers flat at the front of your mat and stack your shoulders on top of your wrists. Step your knees back a couple of inches behind your hips, and now listen to your breathing. Synchronize Inhaling as you glide your chest forward and coil it up, cow pose. Then exhaling as you contract your abdomen, dropping your head to round the back, cat pose. Again, inhale, rolling the shoulders back and down, look up. Exhale, lifting the belly in towards the spine, drop the head and tailbone. Keep going on your own for a few more cycles of breath of Betalasana, cat-cow. And there's another direction your body is asking you to move to help loosen up. Feel free to explore. As I invite you to explore all throughout your practice, taking the pace that is most aligned with your intention and how you're feeling in the moment. And listening to your body when it wants you to pause and rest, whether that mean taking child's pose, sitting down, or just slowing down or backing off of the depth of the pose you're in. When you're ready, on an exhalation, lift your hips high and draw them back, entering downward facing dog. Spend a few breaths there, exploring movement, any kind. You might pedal your feet in place to warm up the backs of your legs. You might swivel your hips side to side to stretch into your outer hips and sides of your torso. Keep listening to your breathing. You might shake your head, nod your head to help relax your neck as you're lifting your shoulders back, pulling the hips up and back, and spreading the fingers flat on the ground. Now start to find stillness in downward facing dog. Land your gaze or drishti on one spot and listen to 2 cycles of breath. On an inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bending your right knee, turn out your right thigh at the hip. Staying there, relax the neck. Inhale, tack the left outer hip back. As you exhale, cross the right knee to tap your left outer upper arm, twisting in plank pose. Make sure you're not twisting the shoulders though. Find the twist at the waistline. Inhale, raise the right leg back. We're warming up here. Exhale, tap the knee outside the right armpit, coming forward to plank. So we're waking up our twisting muscles. Inhale the right leg back. Now this time, bend the knee towards your nose. See if you can actually touch your nose as you round the back, come forward to plank, and quietly as you can, step the right foot beside the right thumb, lower the back knee, keep the back toes tucked. Now as you lower your fingertips down, notice if it might be helpful to plant them on blocks at the height that you need in order to relax your shoulders. As you breathe in, let your pelvis sink, looking up. Keep your feet where they are. As you breathe out, lift the back knee, draw your right outer hip back, straightening your legs to whatever degree comfortable as you bow forward with a flat back. This is wide pyramid pose. Let's go in and out. Inhale, return to a kneeling lunge, look up. Exhale, scissor the right hip back and bow, pyramid. 3 more. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Now step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to the top of a push-up plank pose. You can place your knees down or keep the legs straight. Lift the sides of the belly. On an exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin, Ashtangasana. As you inhale, slither forward onto the belly and come into a baby cobra. So hug the elbows to the ribs and soften your shoulders back and down. Just a gentle lift of the chest. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Pause here, landing your gaze. 1 deep breath. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and turn out your left thigh at the hip. Staying there. Inhale, tack the right outer hip back. Exhale, cross your left knee to tap your right outer upper arm, twisting in plank. Make sure you're not twisting at your shoulders, you're twisting at your waistline. Inhale, raise the left leg back. Exhale, tap the knee outside the left armpit, come forward to plank. Inhale, raise the left leg back. Rounding the back, bend the knee towards your nose. See if you can actually touch your nose with your knee. And then quietly step the foot beside the left thumb. Lower the back knee, keep the back toes tucked. You might place your fingertips on blocks if that helps you to relax the shoulders here. Let's get ready for our next flow. As you breathe in, sink your pelvis, look up, kneeling lunge. Keep your feet where they are. As you exhale, lift the right knee. Draw your left outer hip back to whatever degree you can straighten the legs comfortably. Bow as if you have a flat back. Wide pyramid pose. Let's keep going. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Look up. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Once again, please step back to downward facing dog. Moving to the breath, inhale, come forward to your version of plank pose. Now this time choose to lower knees, chest, chin again, or add the rigor of chaturanga, where you exhale, glide forward, graze your elbows by your ribs, then inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Pausing here for 2 deep breaths. This time, keep your left and right hips leveled in height. As you inhale, raise your right leg behind you, turning the right hip to face the floor. Exhale, round forward in plank, bend the knee towards your nose, and softly as you can, step the right foot forward beside the right thumb, rising to stand in crescent lunge. So stay on the ball of your left foot. Separate your feet hips width apart, parallel your feet, and turn both hips to equally face forward. Landing your gaze on one point. Let's prepare to twist. Imagine that you're dragging your feet towards each other. Create a sense of stability without visibly moving the legs. Then using your right hand, cup the top of your right thigh and root downward through the legs. Breathe in as you stretch your spine forward. Keep the pelvis still. And breathe out as you twist at your waistline to the right, choosing either to lower the left hand down on a block or the floor, directly beneath the left shoulder and raise the right arm. Or if your balance feels really steady, you could go further by hooking the left elbow outside of your right thigh, where you could join your hands in prayer, open your arms wide, or bind if you practice that. Once you've chosen the version, let's breathe into the depth of it. With each inhale, continue that scissoring energy in your legs while stretching your spine further forward. With each exhale, feel your obliques continue to rotate your ribcage. Last 3 breaths. This is a variation of twisting side angle pose, or Parita Parshvakonasana. Now take a look at the ground just in front of your right toes. Lower your fingertips on 2 blocks or the ground and start to shift all your weight into your right foot. Keep your hips leveled. Lift the left leg as high as you can as you bow towards the right leg. Standing splits. Soften the neck. If you want to play with your balance more, you could hug your right calf. Some of you could kick up towards handstand if that's part of your normal practice. Take your time stepping back to downward dog, or maybe exploring a vinyasa or a cat-cow before getting there. Notice the quality of your breathing right now. What is the next best step in alignment with your intention? If you're ready for side 2, take your time from downward facing dog. Focus on your breathing. Inhale, raise the left leg, but keep turning the left hip to face the ground. Exhale, bend the knee high towards your nose, rounding in plank. Quietly as you can, step the left foot beside the left thumb into a high lunge. Then inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Right away, set your gaze. Tune in to your breathing. Cultivate focus in the stillness. Bring the feeling as if you're dragging your feet towards each other without visibly moving them. Feel that rootedness and cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand. Rooting down to your legs, inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Now at your waistline, exhale, begin to twist to the left. See if you can enter the same version you entered on the first side. Maybe placing right hand inside the leg or hooking the elbow outside the thigh. Then breath by breath, explore what's available. Remember, we're balancing the qualities of steady effort with ease. Now listen to that in your breathing. One more breath. Take a look at the ground in front of your left toes. Crawl your fingertips forward about a foot ahead and lift the right leg from the inseam, keeping your hips leveled. Standing splits. Notice what variation is calling you here. From here, choose to take your last vinyasa, if you'd like, and let's meet in child's pose. In child's pose, bring your feet together to touch, knees together or apart. Rest your arms wherever it feels most relaxing for you. Notice the quality of your breathing again. Feel the state of your mind. Sense the way your body is responding to your physical yoga. From here, please extend your arms forward, staying in child's pose, Balasana. Keep your heart and head close to Mother Earth and crawl your hands to the right as far as you can comfortably reach into a side stretch. Imagine breathing deeper into the left wall of your rib cage. And then begin to walk your hands through center and over to the left. Come back through center and slide your hands back alongside your knees. Drop your chin to your chest. And with a slow inhalation, roll your spine upright as if you're stacking one vertebra at a time. Lifting your head last. Please bring your legs in front of you as you come to sit. And as you do that, if your back tends to round, if you have any tightness in your hip flexors that causes that, you may want to grab your blanket so you can adjust the thickness of it and sit on top towards the front edge of it to tilt your pelvis slightly forward so you can sit up tall and more relaxed. Let's come into our next spinal twist. Have a strap nearby because we're going to add in a hip opener right after. So start by bending your right knee and stepping your right foot on the ground, either in front of your right hip or crossed outside of your left knee, in which you might also bend the left knee. Now choose the setup that allows you to sit tall and evenly root your left and right sitting bones. Place your right hand behind you and raise your left arm. Press downward with your lower body to inhale, stretch the spine taller. Keep the pelvis still, and exhale, begin twisting to your right. Lower your left arm to hold your top leg or to add the leverage of hooking the elbow outside the thigh. You're going to be here for about 8 more breaths. So each inhale, root down, let the spine grow a little taller while the shoulders remain relaxed. And each exhale, allow your rib cage to rotate further. So less pushing, more allowing, as we're now entering the yin part of our practice, which is less doing, less active, and more surrender, more tuning inward and slowing down. Notice the expression on your face right now. What can you feel? Is there any tension in the jaw that you could relax? How about the eyes? One way to accentuate that yin quality is to exhale a little longer than you inhale. So you might play with that, breathing out a little slower than you breathe in. And notice the effect of that, like how it feels energetically for you. Find the very end of the next out breath before you unravel from the twist. And let's actually come into double pigeon pose. I've changed my mind here, what I was planning. So either cross the right shin on top of the left shin, so you're sitting cross-legged, or if your hips are willing, stack your ankles and knees while flexing your feet in a way in which you're not able to see the soles of your feet from where you are because you're pressing the big toe mounds out towards the left and right walls. And that way you're stabilizing your knees. If your top thigh is lifting high away from the ground, you can fill that gap with any of your props, your pillow, your blanket, your block. And again, root down to your sitting bones, lengthen up through the chest and the back of the skull. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then little by little from your hips, hinge forward as you exhale. If you can reach for blocks, or if you have any, you can make a tower out of them to rest your forehead on in a way that you can still keep your throat open so you're not rounding your back. We're going to be here for 2 minutes before we switch sides, so make sure that you're in a degree of comfort in which you can be supported and you're not holding yourself up in the pose. So you can stack pillows, you can stack blocks so that your torso can just lean on something. And listen to your breathing. Immerse in its sound. Maybe continuing to breathe out longer than you breathe in. Last deep exhalation here. And then take your time gently lifting your torso upright and stretching both legs forward. You might roll out your feet or point your toes if you were flexing them. Notice what you're feeling in your body right now, just bringing an attitude of curiosity, non-judgment. Coming back to the question, what is the next best step in alignment with your intention? All right, let's come into our seated twist. If you could set up in the same way as you did on the first side, see if that's available, though the depth might be different here. So bending the left knee, step your left foot either in front of your left hip or crossed outside of your right knee, in which you might also bend your right knee. Place the left hand behind you, raise your right arm, and root downward as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale at your waistline, begin twisting to the left. Lower your right arm to hold your top leg, or hook your elbow outside of the thigh, and bring the feeling of allowing more so than doing or pushing as you continue to deepen the twist. And then unwind the spine. And this time let's cross the left shin on top of the right shin, either sitting cross-legged or flexing both feet as you stack your ankles and knees. Double pigeon. Now, if you're flexing your feet in double pigeon, make sure that you're pressing your big toe mounds out to the side. Excuse me, to the side walls. And then root down to your sitting bones. You might stack your props in front of you to catch your forehead. And take your time, root down as you breathe in to lengthen and breathe out to fold from the hips. Excuse me. And we'll be here for another 2 minutes. Excuse me. Stay right where you are. Check in with your breathing. One more long exhalation here.
Take your time lifting your torso upright. Stretch the legs in front of you. Maybe rolling out your feet, pointing your toes. And let's prepare for another forward fold hip opening twist, all three in one. So grab your strap, you might need it. This is twisting head to knee pose. Open up your right thigh and see if you can create an angle between the thighs that's wider than 90 degrees, so an obtuse angle. Placing the strap around the ball of your left foot, hold the strap in your right hand, so right hand. Flex your left foot and kick it into the strap, so two things. Give yourself enough slack while keeping the strap taut as you hold it in your right hand. Place the left hand on the outside of your left leg. Press down through the pelvis, sit up a little taller as you breathe in. Now turn your rib cage to the left. So you're aiming the center of your chest to point to the left side of your left leg. Now in that direction, begin to bow forward little by little for just about 10 deep breaths here. As you walk your right hand closer to your left foot on the strap, you might be able to reach hold of the outer foot, maybe not. Now, as you're folding and twisting, root your right glute down into the earth. Notice any part of your body that might be calling your attention here, and maybe picture breathing into that space. Press down through the pelvis, lead with your chest. Grab the strap to remove off the foot as you inhale to slowly rise. Let's stretch the right leg forward and turn open the left thigh, bringing the sole of the left foot high up towards the groin so you can create an obtuse angle between the thighs. Place the strap around the ball of your right foot as you hold the strap in your left hand. Place the right hand on the right side of your right leg and flex your right foot while kicking it into the strap. Press down to your sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, twist to the right, aiming the center of your chest to face the right side of your right leg. Start to fold from the hips in that direction, breath by breath. Keep lengthening your spine as you inhale. Rooting down especially through your left glute. So in Sanskrit, this posture is called parita, which means twisting, Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. You might catch hold of the outer foot if that's available. And last 2 breaths here. Rooting down through your pelvis. Inhale to rise up, remove the strap, and stretch both legs forward. All right, last forward fold, Paschimottanasana. If you tend to round your back when you're folding, let's try not to do that. Use a strap to use as an extension of your arms so you have enough slack to relax the shoulders back and down. Keeping a slight lift in your chest as you're bowing from your hips, not from your neck, which looks like this, right? So keep the neck long, root down to your pelvis, flex your feet, press the insteps of your feet forward, so feet are hips width apart, and then exhale to hinge little by little from the hips. Take your time for about 10 breaths. Some of you might be able to reach hold of your big toes without rounding the back. If so, you can clasp them with your peace fingers. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. One more deep breath. Press down to your pelvis, lead with your chest. Inhale to slowly rise. All right, please find a comfortable way to sit for one more pranayama practice before we enter corpse pose. And this pranayama practice is great to complement our twists and our flow and restore because it helps to balance our energy, particularly the feminine and masculine energy that passes through Nodi Shodhana and the 7 main chakras. So we have the solar active yang, sometimes called masculine energy, as well as the lunar yin, more introspective, sometimes called feminine energy in all of us, and it's flowing. Sometimes it's out of balance. We have more fire, more active, or more earth and slowing down. So this breathing technique called Nodi Shodhana Pranayama helps to balance those two energies within us, those elements of the earth that are within us, because we are nature too. And so it also helps to tune inward, calm the nervous system, and help us to be more attuned to our intuition. So it helps to promote the energy of Ajna Chakra, or the third eye center. So as we're practicing it, you might close your eyes and turn your inner gaze towards your third eye center, towards the middle of the brain. And you might like to place the left hand in Gyan Mudra, which also supports that. And that's turning the palm face up on the lap with the thumb and index fingers touching. The right hand will be in Vishnu Mudra, in which you stick out the right thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. Alternate nostril breathing goes like this. We're going to use the right thumb to close the right nostril like this, and the right ring and pinky to close the left nostril like this. Let's try, or let's practice 3 cycles of it together, and then continue 3 cycles on your own before we let go of controlling the breath, and then we'll sit to observe how you feel. So getting those passageways cleared. Take a moment to release this breath before we start. Close the mouth. Let's begin. Right thumb, close right nostril. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left. 6. Hold 2. Close left. Exhale right. 6. Hold 2. Inhale right. 6. Hold 2. Close right. Exhale left. 6. Hold 2. Now on your own, continue 3 more cycles. When you finish, let go of controlling your breath and observe anything you feel. As you continue to breathe naturally and tune inward, please begin to lower your body completely onto the ground using any props that you might need for your comfort as you lie down to rest for a few minutes of Shavasana. After Shavasana, I'll invite you to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. So give yourself this time to do nothing, but just be present. As you continue to rest a little longer, bring your awareness back to your physical body and notice how it's responding to your asana yoga practice. Listen to how your body wants to begin waking up. Ease into simple movements and gentle stretches. Please slowly turn over onto your right side and rest your head for a few moments. And there, observe the quality of your natural breath. Notice how your energy feels now. Take your time lifting your body up. Please find a comfortable way to sit in which you can feel alert, grounded, and relaxed. For our 5 minutes sitting in meditation, you might close the eyes to help tune inward. You might rest the right palm face up on the left palm face up at the center of your lap with the thumb tips gently touching, or any other mudra that supports your intention. I invite you now to just rest your awareness on one point in your physical body in which you can most easily feel the natural flow of breath. If your attention trails off into a train of thoughts, as soon as you notice that, you have the opportunity to choose to begin again. Cultivate a gentleness to your focus rather than a forced focus. How does your mind and your heart feel now? In what ways can you bring aspects of your yoga practice into your day-to-day moments? Something as simple as consciously breathing, or tuning into your heart and asking the question, what is the next best step? Especially in moments in which you might feel overwhelmed by too many things to do. As we close this practice, I invite you to take a moment of gratitude by recognizing someone or something that has been of support to you on your spiritual path. Then remind yourself your intention. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And let's join our voices to close, this time as we chant Om 3 times. Let the vibration we have co-created through our shared practice emanate from your voice, sharing that into the world and within. So let in a deep breath. Bowing in towards your heart center to honor the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.